Good afternoon, everybody. Tom here. I'm here with a very special guest, Jessica Richards. But before I get into why we're going to speak to her, another little update. Tuesday, the 8th of November at midday, our crowdfunding campaign goes live. And don't forget to tune in for our Facebook Live event at 7:30 p.m. London time. But as you know, I've been speaking to people this week about various sides of the cancer world. And I've come to speak to Jessica Richards. What's your background? What do you do? What's your work? You've got a very interesting job. You're a...
Well, I've been a clinical hypnotherapist for over 30 years.
Yep.
In that building behind us there. Right on the corner of Harley Street. That's it. Number one.
I've just come to... yep. And for how long?
For over 30 years.
You've got a very particular viewpoint on this. Could you talk to me a little bit about what your experience has been with cancer treatment and why you've decided to come out and talk to me today?
Yeah, the only reason that I've gone public at all and why I'm supporting this film is because, to me, it doesn't matter which treatments we choose. We should choose whichever works for us. But as far as I'm concerned, that as patients, we have a right to have access to information that will enable us to make informed choices on our pathway of care. We have a right to implement those choices safely, and our medical and healthcare teams have a right to treat us according to what they believe is in our best interest, without fear of breaking the law or of losing their good name and reputation. So I'm very keen to support something which is not in either camp. It's simply in the best interests of people who have cancer and their medical and healthcare teams who are trying to help them.
Right, so objectivity is important to you?
It's critical to me because at the end of the day, I happen to have done alternative treatment. It ended up that way. I didn't start out that way, and personally, I would use anything that works. I don't care if it's a drug or a chemical or anything else. I would use anything that works for me.
Because you've been supervised by an oncologist throughout your process, haven't you? Is that correct?
Well, not an oncologist. He's a breast cancer consultant, and I wasn't supervised as such. I asked him if he would be a member of my team. I interviewed several consultants, and they were all willing to help but didn't know how to. And when I eventually went to see him, he agreed that he would monitor me in whatever I was doing, because conventional treatment doesn't solve it for everybody, but on condition that if my treatment doesn't work out as well as we would hope, that I would consider what he may have to offer from a clinical point of view. And that was our arrangement, and that was 9 years ago now. So. And
your cancer, what's your situation now?
Well, I don't have any invasive tests.
Well, hang on, firstly, what was the cancer that you had?
If you start with breast cancer, even if it goes elsewhere, it's still classed as breast cancer.
And today, where are you today? You're okay? It's 9 years ago you were diagnosed, so obviously things...
Well, actually, it was nearly 10 years ago. I've been with him for 9 years. It took me 6 months to find him. So it will be 10 years on the 11th of May 2017.
So you're doing okay?
Well, it looks like
You're doing pretty good. I mean, you look pretty good to me. Jessica, you're looking good to me.
I'm still above ground anyway.
Yeah, you're doing all right. And just quickly, what's your...
It'd be embarrassing if I dropped dead now on film.
That would be very, very inconvenient and a little bit awkward.
Yeah,
a little bit orcs. So that's great. Okay. But I find it particularly interesting talking to you, Jessica, because you are someone who ended up using a method of alternative treatment. However, you are an advocate of whatever works.
Yeah, absolutely. Integrated as much information as possible. Don't rule anything out. Just find out what resonates with you and what you feel would work for you. And that's why we need access to relevant information.
And this is, but bearing in mind,
unbiased information.
Relevant, yeah. And bearing in mind, everybody, this is Jessica's a personal experience. So this is what's been unique and personal to her experience. And I think it's very interesting. And so this film, it launches the crowdfunding campaign launches next Tuesday. Are you a supporter of the film, Jessica?
Of course I'm a supporter of the film. I'll support anything that gets factual and objective information out there, because in my experience, and I'm one of them, cancer patients are not political, they just want to recover.
Yeah.
And as far as I understand as well, in all the interactions I've had, and I work a lot with medics, they are also, certainly in the UK, interested in helping their patients. They're not political.
That's there's and this, and one of the things with this film is one of the important points of difference with this particular film is that we are striving to make it balanced and objective. I don't have a vested interest in one thing or another. It's really just about going, okay, what's happening out there, and discussing it, using the platforms of the stories, the people that are actually in the film itself. So and so does that? Will you share the campaign page next week with your friends and family and whatnot?
Of course I will.
Okay. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks for joining us.
Me.
No,
God bless everyone.
Thanks for coming to talk, and thank you everybody. And there'll be more soon. Thanks for the support.